Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today I'm going to show you how to make an iced sprinkle sponge cake, the same that many of you would have had at school. So, as I show you how, please sit back, relax with a cup of tea in hand, putting those feet of yours up to, and enjoy this episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Already on the channel, we've shared our recipe for a brilliantly British school classic in the form of this coconut jam sponge cake, being simple to prepare yet rewarding to enjoy. This episode will be no different as we share our recipe for an iced sprinkle sponge cake, leaving you at this episode's end with the tough decision of deciding which of these two cakes you'll look upon more favourably. Step by step, we'll walk you through the cake's preparation before crowning things off with a session of tasting at the end. So now, with the introductions made and your interest peaking, please allow me to introduce the ingredients to you. For today's brilliantly British iced sprinkle sponge cake, you will need some full fat milk, some powdered sugar, some bicarbonate of soda, some baking powder, some butter, some eggs, some plain white flour, some lemons, some custard sugar, some vanilla paste, some sprinkles, of course, and some vegetable oil, followed by a little pinch or two of salt. And that, my friends, is all you will need for today's brilliantly British cake. But before you get started, before you do anything at all, please take the time to switch on your kettle, brew yourselves a nice cup of hot tea so that you can sip on that whilst you bake. To begin preparing this brilliantly British cake, after beginning to preheat your oven, cream, sugar, salt, soft room temperature butter, lemon zest and vanilla paste together until smooth, fluffy and pale. After which, incorporate your eggs one at a time to prevent the emulsion from splitting, then beat in oil before setting aside to then mix flour, baking powder and baking soda before sifting into your wet mixture, folding the ingredients by hand thereafter gently until homogeneous. Finishing the batter thereafter with a splash of milk. The batter should then be turned out into a butter and flour coated tray and then knocked to remove any pockets of air and then baked, leaving you with time to rehydrate and relax with some brilliantly British content in hand, making sure, of course, to like and subscribe. Thank you. Once baked, set the cake aside and allow it to cool, using the time spent waiting to prepare an icing consisting of powdered sugar, salt and lemon juice, which should be drizzled over your cooled down cake and covered with your sprinkles while still being wet. And once the icing sets, you can smile with the knowledge that your cake is now ready to enjoy. So now, with an iced sprinkle sponge cake made and your interest peaking, I think it's high time for tasting. Are you ready? Are you steady? 3, 2, 1. Nostalgia. Like I said, this cake is a slice of nostalgia. This is something that many of you watching, and for many of you that are not too familiar with this cake, it's a common cake that many people in the UK will have enjoyed with their school dinners, their school lunches. We would have had it with custard and, well, yeah, it was one of the highlights of the day. It was amazing. This or the jam coconut sponge alternative, which awaits you on the channel. It's spongy, it's light, and it has texture, which comes from the sprinkles. They have a lovely crunch to them, and normally the icing on top would just be icing sugar mixed with water, but I've enhanced this cake a little and it makes the world of difference just by making the icing with lemon juice. it just takes it to another level. It elevates this already fantastic and simple cake to the highest of heights, period. And now that I've tasted the cake on its own to prove to you how good this is, I'm now going to enjoy the cake the way it would be consumed normally, with custard. So, in 3, 2, 1. It's been a long time. Near on 20 years since I've probably last had this bowl of food. And it's been almost 20 years too long. Just as I imagined and remembered, it hits the spot. It's of course better than the one that I had at school because, well, it just is. But need I say more? Need I say more? I'll leave the decision up to you. Enjoy this with a cup of tea, or enjoy it with rich, creamy custard, the recipe of which, follow the link up there. We have a custard making masterclass awaiting you. So now, with all of that being said, please go out, get the few simple ingredients, make this cake, and perhaps the custard too, because it will of course be 110% worth it. So please, please, please make this cake, please. Thank you all for allowing me to show you how to make an iced sprinkle sponge cake, the one that many of you will have had at school. Knowing that you loved this episode, don't forget to click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button so that you don't miss any, and I mean any, of our new releases. Make sure you tell everyone, and I mean everyone, that you know about the Brilliantly British food on this channel, and follow us on all of the social media platforms that this channel is on. And I will see you